Golpes debajo de este punto, ser llamado bajo. With that said, I want you to obey my commands, protect yourselves at all times. Obedezcan mis comandos y protegerse a su mismo siempre. Touch them up now. Good luck to both of you. Tócalo. Buena suerte, hombres. Suerte.
All right, we didn't get a chance to comment on the tail of the tape, but we can tell you that Casamayor is an inch taller. The reach is the same, the weight is the same, and of course the big difference is Casamayor is 40 and Bradley is 28. Bradley's undefeated 27-0. Casamayor is a two-division world champion in his own right. So we're set to go here. The rules: 10-point must-scoring system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Only the referee can stop the fight in case of an accidental foul. You go to the scorecards after 4 rounds. In the brown and orange, Timothy Bradley. Joel Casamayor, the southpaw, in the white trunks. And immediately you notice their feet getting tied up. Oh, Tim is going to have to be on guard for this fella throughout the course of the fight.
Some of those tricks aren't always legal either.
Casamayor, very skilled counterpuncher. Still moves pretty well. Powerful right hook. And very smart in the ring that Tim is going to have to deal with. You see the way he grabbed on him? And he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao next, though. He's got to win tonight. You see Casamayor throws a punch and then grabs and spins him around, tries to get him off balance, but that's not going to frustrate Timothy Bradley.
He's sort of in a lose-lose situation. He squeaks by, then he beat a 40-year-old Casamayor, and if he, for some reason, does not win, then
Casamayor, in spite of the fact that he's 40 years old, is a difficult guy to beat. I mean, he knows every move in the ring. Vic Drakulich warns him about the head. And then Mario, as you mentioned, Timothy's no stranger to headbutts either.
He acknowledged it. Yeah, so he was ready, he said, for it. And you saw that obvious headbutt by Casamayor, who just got tagged. Casamayor, known as Cepillo, or El Cepillo, meaning a brush. He was, from the beginning of his career, he's always been able to just brush off opponents' punches with ease. His competition, unbelievable, far better than Bradley. Certainly the likes of Acelino Freitas, Nate Campbell, a couple of just tremendously memorable fights against Diego Corrales, Lamont Peterson, Michael Katsidis.
I would venture to say he's probably the most successful Cuban that's come out of Cuba.
You know, they really haven't turned out to be that great of pros, except for
if you factor in longevity, right, Colonel?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, they just didn't adjust to the pro style, but this guy certainly has. The bell ends round 1. Decent round for both guys. You know, you talk about trilogies. His trilogy with Diego Corrales wasn't a bad trilogy, you know?
Well, the first fight especially was just unbelievable. The two of them were both down in the same round. As we take a look at Bradley staggering.
I think, Rich, you probably gave it to Casamayor?
No, I gave it to Bradley. Bradley, yeah.
All right. And Mario, how about yourself?
You know, that was a very close round. I actually gave it to Casamayor. I thought he landed a couple of big lefts.
Okay, so we get a totally split. Casamayor starts with a jab.
Bradley made his big splash, and it was a big shock to many, especially over in England when he knocked out Junior Witter.
Right.
Beat Junior Witter, didn't knock him out, but he beat him decisively, had him down. I can remember watching that fight. I think it was the 6th round when he knocked down Witter. The shock from the fans in England, they couldn't believe it. They're going, "Who is this guy?"
Coming out of the desert, and I mean, he's got a fan-friendly style. He likes to swarm you, throws a lot of punches, attacks the body. It's hard to do that with a southpaw, especially as one as clever and savvy as Casamayor.
Providing he has a win tonight, he's going to be a very popular champion because he's just that nice sort of guy. His win over Junior Witter for the world title was he won the WBO title, beating Kendall Holt by unanimous decision. So this guy can fight.
That was a very good fight. That fight with Kendall Holt. His last fight was just a dreadful bore against Devin Alexander, and I asked him about it. I said, "Were you expecting the level of criticism that you got?" He said, "No," because that really shook me up. I never expected that people would react that way. You know, he was all happy after the win and everything, and he got like no credit for it, almost, because the fight was not an action-packed fight.
Not an action-packed fight. It was at a horrible venue. The promotion was bad. There was just a lot of factors involved in that.
Well, he's having a good round number 2. If there's any question of round number 1, he's making Casamayor look like a 40-year-old here in this round. Let me make sure you heard that properly. A 40-year-old, not a 4-year-old.
Of course, the big thing for Bradley is he changed promotions from Thompson Promotions to Top Rank, which he feels will promote him
Top Rank is the best at taking your fighter, marketing him, making him star, matchmaking.
Casamayor in white, Tim Bradley in the brown chocolate trunks with the orange trim on him. He had a real decent first round, I thought, and Timothy Bradley is taking care of that in the second round. Just cracked him with the right hand just before the bell ended round 2. Well, we talk about Tim Bradley as we go to round number 3 and the importance of the fight for him. For Casamayor, pick up a big shot himself in a big money fight for one last time. He got cracked that time and went back on his heels off the right hand of Tim Bradley. Tim wants to load up shots now. He threw that right hand again with a lot of power. Grabbed him and walking back on the heels so you can't feel the power. Doesn't make for a pretty fight. Mike Tyson for the first 2 or 3 rounds until Mike got a little bit of punching room, and then it was lights out for France.
Well, Timothy Bradley knows the platform he's given right now and knows how important it is for him not only to win but to look impressive doing it.
To me, he looks like he's trying to survive this fight right now, and it's very early. It's only in the 3rd round, and Tim wants to do what you said, Mario, be impressive in taking this guy out. Every time Casamayor grabs and walks him back now, the crowd starts to whistle.
I think the youth, the volume of punches, the aggression will inevitably take its toll. But let's hope he doesn't go in there with reckless abandon. The nice straight right hand by Bradley.
Bradley's starting to clip him many more times now. Tries to hold him off and grabs again. That's a signal from Latino people and people from the Philippines. They don't like it.
Both passionate fight fan bases.
Casamayor knows every trick inside. How to lean on a guy, how to put your arm around him, how to clamp down on one arm, punch with the other, and especially with the head. And you'll see Bradley when he gets in close sometimes, he will pull back his head to prevent anything from happening.
Well, Tim caught him with the right hand on the inside and backed up, Joel. People are not ingratiated by the way Casamayor is fighting right now, and he's been a 2-time world champion.
You know, Casamayor has been in action fights. They're not all like this. I mean, the first fight with Diego Corrales was unbelievable.
Oh, he's been in a couple, yes.
Yeah, the Katsides fight was a tremendous slugfest.
But he is 40 years old. And time will rob a great fighter and make him an average fighter. And that may be the situation we're seeing tonight. The bell ends the 3rd round. Another good round for Tim.
He's been relaxed and happy, very happy and excited about this fight. You know, and he felt like he was going to do very well, but he seemed super confident to me, but he hasn't reacted that way tonight in the ring.
He fought that way in the first round. In fact, I thought he may have won the first round. I scored it even, but I know the judges won't do that. And they're taking a point away now from Casamayor. It's the corner of Casamayor yelling, "Watch Bradley hit me behind the head." But it's Casamayor that lost the point.
Casamayor in a really big hole now. He has any plans to win this fight, not just survive.
I'll tell you, he turned his back again to Tim, and Tim, as a sportsman, he could have let that punch go, and he pulled the punch. He could have really hurt him. You cannot turn your head. I mean, tell you one thing, Floyd Mayweather would have let that punch go.
Well,
yeah.
He demonstrated that.
Well, some good sportsmanship shown by Timothy.
Oh, another clash of heads.
I'll have Joel pick it up.
Casamayor landed a straight left there, Colonel. Snuck it in. He's
the Latin crowd not happy, chanting culero, which is not the most pleasant term.
Is there any way you can water it down and tell us what it means?
Well, Bradley doing his part. You know, when you're up against a guy like Casamayor that he's been in there and there's nothing he hasn't seen. It's hard to let all your aggression go because you're constantly concerned about getting countered by the savvy veteran.
Yeah, and he just got countered by him, just as you were saying that. But you know, Casamayor doesn't look like he has great balance to me tonight. The way Tim is keeping pressure on him, his legs don't look like they're really underneath him. Tim attacks him, cracked him with the left hook.
Oh, just missed with the big loop.
And with the right hand that time.
Bradley turning it up a little.
He feels like I do that he hurt him. And keeping pressure on Casamayor, I think, is the best way for him to fight him now.
Even if he has a fight that's not spectacular, to produce a spectacular ending to it.
Yes.
Well, that's all he has to do, really, Rich, is have a spectacular ending. And because, as I said at the get-go, it's very hard to look good against this guy. He's winning the rounds all right, but, you know, the way this guy fights and all his experience, he can make you look bad in not winning rounds. With us for this big pay-per-view event internationally. Hope wherever you're watching, you're enjoying it, especially my boys down at the Valley Inn in Christchurch, New Zealand. The earthquakes have caused them a lot of problems, but they are back up and running, and they're watching. It's a Sunday afternoon over there, you know, so
that's
enjoy
a nice
it,
time
boys.
to watch fights. Meanwhile, Bradley having some success, but doing enough to hang in there.
She was so right when you said to Vic he'd have his hands full, talking about Vic Drakulich, the third man in the ring, the referee. Tim a little frustrated, it looks like to me.
Vic is my homeboy from Reno, Nevada. There it is, a knockdown.
Well, he caught him on the inside. The count's up to 3. His eyes are fairly clear. He'll be able to get up. But that is definitely a knockdown.
Can Tim Bradley close the show big?
He was hurt.
Yeah, he caught him with a short punch on the inside. And now let's see if Tim turns it up or not. Oh, he got his attention again with that body shot.
Good body punching by Bradley. He's focusing his entire arsenal now downstairs. Look at that. Every punch has been a body punch here for the last 30 seconds.
But he was hurt by the body shot. There it is again. Very light in the area of the kidney. There is the body shot again.
And I like this attack.
All body.
Pummeling him with body shots.
Young, strong guy. Doesn't give him a chance to hold.
Was down against Corrales, came back to win. Was down against Katsidas, came back to win. Look at this body attack, Colonel. I mean, it's all body.
It's terrific. And then he comes upstairs with the left hook, the straight right hand, bounces off the forehead of Casamayor.
Realized that Casamayor was a tough customer to catch. Flush, so he started working that body.
Tim realizes that, and when he gets in that slugging area, he's throwing hard. That time he was victimized by a low blow. But he's sneaky with what he does. Another vicious body shot, the left hook to the body by Tim Bradley.
Again, a low blow by Casamayor. Drakulich saw it.
Well, he took a point away in the last round.
Those body shots taking its toll.
Yeah, and he was another vicious body shot right at the bell. Well, that's another 10-8 round. The round previously to that was a 10-8 round because the point taken away for the low blows by Casamayor.
There it is. You see that right hand to the body, and down goes Casamayor.
And it didn't stop. Being relentless with that body attack. Really ripping in, sometimes catching him in the arms and making that guard go down. Casamayor being forced to hold to try to survive. We've had our share of water tonight, gentlemen, from the
we're getting spilled on
blue corner.
We go to round number 7. Anytime you work a live corner, you're going to get water on you for sure, and most times blood. That time he threw him down, but I think he's going to call it a knockdown.
I think I disagree with that call by Drakulich. There were 2 body blows landed, but then Tim threw him down.
Yeah, we'll get a chance to see it in the replay, but Vic was actually positioned in close, and what he saw the guy go down, and I don't think he realized that he was pushed down like that, but nonetheless, it's a knockdown. Scored is set, so 3 consecutive rounds in a row is a 10-8 round for Tim Bradley, and that's not helping the cause of Casamayor. Casamayor's got to be frustrated now, and this is usually when he could resort to something dirty. Head clashes, more low blows, more grabbing, and maybe grab and throw himself. He's definitely frustrated now and very much annoyed. But Tim just does what he has to do, goes with the right-hand lead.
Bradley might as well just keep focusing all his attention downstairs.
It's working for him, and I feel that last knockdown will be irrelevant if he keeps up this body attack, but hopefully he won't start head hunting now that he feels he's softened him up.
Casamayor virtually very little offense. He's trying to do it, but you know what? He's fighting like a 40-year-old man right now. You know, he's not sharp, he's not crisp. When this guy was in his prime, he was an accurate puncher. He's floundering around the ring. His legs aren't strong. He's weak in the thighs. And, of course, a lot of that has to do with that. And that's the area of the liver. If he catches him right on it, he'll go. And he'll stay down.
Well, Casamayor really protecting that area down there, right at the liver.
Now he's got that elbow down. He didn't want to take another shot there, that's for sure.
And Bradley would serve him well to try a double left hook.
Tim is pleased with what he's doing so far. It's working for him. He comes up with the head that time, follows it up with a left hook, grazes, then he punishes him right to the body again. Well, I tell you, these body shots are going to hurt Casamayor, and they are, because he's right down on his heels. Good balance. He's heavy in the thighs, loose in the knees, heavy in the heels.
Sign of an old fighter.
Yeah.
That's that double hook I was talking about. Bradley pitching a shutout. Here's a big attack by Bradley to the body, and the knockdown, which looked more like a push.
There you see that body blow, the great body attack, and then he cuffed him around behind the back of the neck.
He can't win this fight the way it's going and the way he's fighting it. Mind you, Joel Casamayor in the white trunks is still very, very crafty, and still it's difficult to look good against him, even though he's lost the last 3 rounds 10-8, 10-8, 10-8.
Nice right hand by Bradley.
Yeah, he busted him that time in the face with it.
And he cracked him again with that one. Casamayor got to be very frustrated now that he can't execute what he used to be able to do in his younger days. Fighters can't feel it when they're in training. They don't see it, but it's the little slight things that separate the journeyman fighters from the champions, and you lose that with age. And that's what's happened with Joel.
But this is a great fight for Bradley, assuming he gets past this tonight, in preparation for one Manny Pacquiao, at least facing, obviously not with the savvy southpaw.
Yeah, it's definitely a test for him, because, as we said, it didn't start out easy in round 1, and he took control by round 2. And some may have Tim pitching a shutout.
The thing about Tim that's impressed me the most tonight is his body punching, the leverage that he gets on the body punch, the way it's like he digs his feet right into the canvas when he throws those.
Well,
really sits on them.
Yeah, he's doing that and very successful with it there. The southpaw bouncing the right hand, doesn't phase Tim at all.
Now Bradley's gotten away from the body punching, other than that uppercut there.
Just as you say it.
That's always the way.
The more fights you do, Mario, the more that'll happen to you.
Yeah, I was on cue.
But he has become more of a headhunter in this round, and it may be that he thought that.
Well, he definitely wants to do that. We're in round 7. It's scheduled for 12. If he could take him out in this round or the next round, a guy that's been through what he was through in Cuba and then coming in the United States, he's not going to quit.
Oh, no, you're exactly right, Colonel. This is a tough customer. A veteran, a proud man, been through some wars. He's not going to let this young buck just walk right through him.
He's trying, but again, the age is showing control of a guy that's very, very slick in there and very awkward to fight. That's a slip. That ends the 7th. Another Bradley round. Kind of beaten up on the old veteran Joel Casamayor. Either that or Miguel Diaz, who's very crafty to corner.
Right.
Got him another 20 seconds.
Give him another 20 seconds. That's an old Angelo Dundee trick.
I'm surprised some tape wasn't dangling either.
Because Miguel doesn't forget mouthpieces. Casamayor trying to get off here in the 8th round. I feel an anticipation in the crowd, and I almost have it, because it seems like Tim Bradley's just going to coast to win this fight, and everybody wants to see Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao 3, and the crowd kind of sitting in their hands right now, waiting in hopeful anticipation.
Right, and of course these two guys had a tough, with the most heated exchanges, and basically 4 fighters just getting the hell kicked out of them.
Those guys deserve a long vacation after.
Greatest Prescott might have been ahead of Mike Alvarado, although it could have been a 1 point the other way, with a series of uppercuts to win and just an action-packed absolute war. And then Juan Carlos Burgos won a majority decision over Luis Cruz. And my only question is, why is that a majority? It should have been a unanimous decision, because Burgos did a great job against Cruz, who was expected to win. He was the undefeated fighter. In this one, it's the old seasoned vet. There's another low blow, and again, Vic Drakulich says, Come on, keep it up. He doesn't really want to take anymore. Uppercut on the inside by Tim. Snaps the head back again. Casamayor backs off and tries to paw with a right-hand jab. 2 good body shots and back upstairs. That's the one you were calling for, Mario. The left hook downstairs and back up to the head.
Well, Sapio was protecting his kidney, his liver when Bradley was relentless with the body attack, and he left himself so open, and now he's having some success with it. Just threw it just one more time.
And Bradley has really picked up his work output in this round, landing a lot more punches, and he's mixing it up better. You know, he had been 2 rounds ago completely body, last round completely head, this round both body and head.
And some blows really staggering. Casamayor, this could be the beginning of the end, gentlemen.
I think it is. He's got him in trouble right now. Only 17 seconds to go, but if he knocks him down, the count will continue.
Casamayor trying to lean on him to get some rest. Bradley wisely steps back and gets some distance.
Nice pivot by Bradley to get a new angle and create that punch. There's that double punch. Big body shot that hurt him.
Yeah, it hurt him a lot.
And down
he goes. That was on the liver, but he gets back up. He'll take the 8 count.
I think this fight's over. I think this fight is over.
It really should be.
Yeah. I think Miguel Diaz is waving it off.
Well, he'd be disqualified if Miguel didn't say it's all over. And is it all over? I haven't seen Vic Drakulich. Did he wave his hands?
Yeah, Miguel Diaz waved it off. Yeah.
Okay, it's all over. So it'll be scored as an 8th round technical knockout victory for Tim Bradley, who in the end was definitive. He had him staggering and reeling around and dropped him again. He had him down 3 times in the fight. What more can you ask from Tim Bradley against a seasoned professional? Look at this at the end.
Yeah, he really set him up. He was landing both body and head, as we had mentioned a few moments before that.